Hi, I'm Barb Steinberg, teen life coach for girls, parent coach, and speaker on teen girl issues. I wanted to talk to you about the idea of infusing the three words, I love you, in conversations that are hard with your teenager. So there are so many conversations that we have with our teens where we are explaining our expectations for them, setting limits for them, conversations that can be rough, where they can not want to hear what we have to say and have a lot of resistance to it. And sometimes they can be heated and super unpleasant. And I wanted to share with you what happened in our household with our teen just the other day when we were sharing. I have to use the example with my teen boy, even though all I do is talk about and work with teen girls. But nonetheless, it still is pertinent. So we were having a conversation like that. We were sharing expectations and our concerns and our worries about who he's hanging out with, the potential choices that he could possibly make with those friends. And I noticed, when we started the conversation, he was pretty hot. He felt defensive, right? He didn't like what we were saying, that we were criticizing him, is how I think he felt. And then when we infused the words, you know what, we really love you. We really love you. And I noticed when we threw that in the middle of this conversation, I watched him soften. So usually in these conversations, I shouldn't say usually, but I think often when we're setting limits or creating boundaries, and sometimes it's coming from a place of fear in us, and we want to kind of rein them in and keep them safe, we can come from a very powerful, assertive, sometimes aggressive stance, and we forget to bring in the softer side of our feelings towards our teens. And so they meet us with that same energy, that assertiveness, that aggression. And then it's a bit of a power struggle, and it's not necessarily productive sometimes. So I just noticed when we said, you know what, we really love you, and we really, we're just concerned about you. We just want to make sure, that you're making choices that are good for you and that you'll be proud of. And I literally watched his face and his body language and his voice soften when we said those words twice. I could tell that he could feel that we were coming from a different place other than we're trying to control you, which is, I think, how the conversation started. That's what he was hearing. And when we threw in those words, we love you, then I watched him be able to hear it and get it. And the resistance sort of melted away. And it ended up being a pretty fantastic conversation, which I have to tell you, they're not all like that. So I wanted to share that with you in case you could test it out in your own life with your girls and see how well it works for you, because I think it will. Thanks for listening.